Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rewind Rewatch podcast. My name is Joel.
My name is Andrene.
And we are siblings who have been rewatching 90s movies for your audio enjoyment, discussing the films, some that we've seen before, some that we have not seen before. And we talk about what we liked or didn't like. We try to identify the theme of the film. And at the end of each episode, we give the movie a rating from 1 to 5 rewinds based on how rewatchable we think the movie ultimately is 25, almost for some 30 years later.
I know.
Yeah. So
what are we covering today?
What are we covering today? Yes. So I guess the other piece of housekeeping is that all the movies that we cover on this podcast come from listener requests. We have a lengthy list of films. I was looking through it the other day, and I was just like, "Yo, there's so many movies on here."
I need to add some more. Actually, a few requests came in over the weekend that I haven't added yet.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing this podcast till we're 80, basically, just so we can finish the list. So yeah, all of the movies come from listener request. We'll go through each week, pick a movie off the list, and then we go back and see who actually requested it. So we're not like hedging any favorites.
Right.
Today's movie was my pick, and I picked I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997.
Yes.
Starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ryan Philippe, Freddie Prinze Jr., and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
All the hotties, basically.
All the three-name hotties.
Oh, wow.
Not Ryan Philippe much, but yeah.
Isn't it Felipe?
Is it Felipe?
I think it's Felipe.
Oh.
I think I always go back and forth on it, but I'm pretty sure it's Felipe.
I did not know. That's the first time I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
I've always thought his name was Philippe.
I looked it up yesterday because I was like, am I saying this? I think it's Felipe.
Oh, interesting.
So.
Well, it's like the Rihanna thing, right?
Yeah, she says Rihanna.
Well, yes, that means that's her name.
I'm saying people always say Rihanna, but it's not. It's Rihanna.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. So yes, 1997. And so I guess I could talk a little bit about why I picked this movie, because we had done Scream earlier. I think that was like in our first 20 episodes.
Yeah, for sure. It was early on.
And Scream was a movie that I was more familiar with because I had seen it more times. I remember just how iconic it was and just thinking about how much of a like meta horror movie. I feel like this is a movie that came out around the same time, and they were both kind of in that like horror movie for teen kind of MTV era type of movies. They both had kind of like similar casts in terms of like the people that teens would be interested in. And I feel like they were often compared in the late 90s in terms of like which one was better, which movie, Scream was the one that I had seen more times, and so I think because of that, I've always leaned more towards Scream. I have a very vague memory of this movie. Okay. And yeah, so I kind of just wanted to rewatch it.
Okay, sounds good. I have seen this movie, of course, more times than you have. But like you, Scream is definitely the one that I played more frequently. Scream came out a year before this film did.
96, 97.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to give a shout out.
Shout out.
This was requested by Nick.
Shout out to Nick. All right, so we talked a little bit about the cast. There's a few people we've seen before on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr. we saw in She's All That. We covered that movie previously. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Philippe we saw in And Ryan. Ryan.
People are going to write it and be like, you're saying his name wrong. It's Philippe.
Ryan and Sarah. Sarah Michelle. We saw them in
Cruel Intentions.
I couldn't even remember the name of the movie. Cruel Intentions. That's right. Have we seen Jennifer Love Hewitt? Oh, we saw Jennifer Love Hewitt in Can't Hardly Wait. Right. Okay. So none of these people are folks that we haven't already covered. I don't think we need to go into their whole filmography.
No.
But like I said, I feel like these were kind of like the people that were kind of cool to teenagers. Like this, I feel like this is a movie that would have been like, I don't know why I keep thinking of MTV, but I feel like MTV was like representative of everything that was cool to like a 13-year-old.
Oh yeah, like Carson Daly,
Yeah.
TRL,
yeah.
I remember back then, like just like being a Backstreet Boys fan, and it was like Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC was like the big thing.
Yeah.
And I remember like anytime Backstreet Boys won like the #1 video for TRL, I would lose my mind. It's like, oh, they won.
Right.
And it's like, this is so stupid in
All
retrospect.
400 times that they won. Yes, we did it again. 19-day win streak.
And you would keep count.
That's insane.
Because it was important.
That was important. So yeah, that's why I always think of like MTV. I feel like that's where these movies would have been marketed. They would have done their press run on TRL. They would have, it just was kind of that time. Which is like, what is that now? Like, I don't know if there is anything, and I guess that's more of a conversation about like the monoculture of the 90s, but like, is there anything that like, and I guess you probably wouldn't know, but like if every teen is like watching this thing, like how would you get them all to like pay attention to something, right? It was very easy to just put Destiny's Child in a movie and people would pay attention to it, or, put someone on TRL and everybody was going to see it. But I don't know if we have anything like that nowadays.
No, now people just follow people's socials. So I guess if they go live or do a TikTok, people would see it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the same thing now. There are 3 other people in this movie that we can just briefly mention.
Okay.
So Anne Heche is a, big name actress. She was in Donnie Brasco in 97, 6 Days, 7 Nights in 98. Also the Psycho remake in 98. She also was on the show called Hung. Have you seen this on HBO?
Yeah, I used to watch that show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Basically, the premise is a high school basketball coach becomes like a gigolo because he's using his biggest asset.
Oh, brother.
Hence the title, Hung.
It's not a show about William Hung. Unfortunately.
Well, you watched it.
Which is why I tuned in. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll see how this plays out.
And then we also have Johnny Galecki, who plays Max. Max is the character in this film who has a crush on Julie. Johnny Galecki is from Roseanne. He plays David, Darlene's
that's
boyfriend.
Right. I definitely recognize his face and I couldn't put my finger on where from, but yes, that makes sense.
He also is in The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, well, yes, that also makes sense. And those are 2 shows I have not done a lot of watching. Roseanne, much more than Big Bang Theory. I really don't watch that show at all.
And then lastly, Elsa, who plays Helen's sister, is played by Bridget Wilson Sampras. And we've seen her before on this podcast.
Billy Madison.
Yep. She was the teacher / girlfriend of Billy Madison.
Sampras as in she's married to Pete Sampras?
I don't know who her husband is. I didn't look that far.
Oh, wow.
I
just know her as Bridget Wilson. So I didn't know about the Sampras part.
I saw the hyphenation on IMDb.
That's the only Sampras I know. So now I'm going to have to look that up.
Well, you can look it up. I guess while you're doing that, I could do my 1 sentence.
Yeah. That's exactly where I was going to go.
Okay, so if I were to describe I Know What You Did Last Summer in 1 sentence, I would say 4 teens accidentally run over a man and dump his body and then become stalked by someone noting that they know what they did last summer.
Well, if you thought that was clunky, folks, guess what?
You're wrong.
This plot is actually
wrong.
quite clunky. And yes, she is married to Pete Sampras. They've been married since 2000.
Oh, wow.
So I guess we could just go there straight away. I feel like
the car accident. You want to start there?
Just like the general storyline and the way that the plot goes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like towards the end, and even at moments in the middle of the movie, like I feel like some of the twists felt a little forced. Like I feel like there were more twists and turns in the plot than there needed to be. Like it's like, wait, why is this happening? Because the original premise was fine. Like they got in a car accident, this guy died, they tossed the body, then somebody saw it and is basically stalking them for revenge.
Right.
Like it makes perfect sense to me. But then they're like, wait, no, that's not what it actually is. But it's actually this guy who he actually killed him before, the summer before. And then it's like, wait, what? And then it was just like, I feel like it was just more confusing than it needed to
figure
be.
out, like, wait, so who did they actually hit with the car? Like,
yeah. So I was trying to write this down, and actually this would be funny because I'm still not sure if I got it right.
Okay,
but
let's
I'm going to say what I think happened
in the film.
and then you're going to tell me if I got it correct. All right? So what my understanding is that they are driving down, like they're basically on this seaside town. They're driving on the road after this big 4th of July event, and they hit someone. The guy looks like he's dead. They decide to dump the body. As they're about to dump the body, the guy's not dead. So then they dump the body anyway. So at this point, they murdered him.
Yeah, they did murder him.
And then they started getting these letters that say, like, I know what you did last summer. And they assume that it's a friend of this guy's or a family member who's basically found out that they hit him and is trying to get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And they find this, they do some research, and there was a body that washed up on the shore that same summer. So they put 2 and 2 together and say, this must have been the guy that we hit. And his name was David Egan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then as they're doing more research, what they say is that actually David Egan and his fiancée Susan had gotten into a car accident the year before. Susan died, and because of that, Susan's father wanted revenge for his daughter, so he actually killed David Egan. And then the body that they hit on the road was actually the father who had actually already killed Egan before they hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they threw the father in the water, but he actually survived and escaped and then came back for revenge the following year.
Yes, that's correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
So, yeah.
So you hated all these twists and turns is what it sounds like.
I just don't know what the value add is. On the one hand, you're saying, okay, this is someone who they killed and someone's trying to get revenge. But now you're saying, no, the person that they hit is actually someone who's already committed murder and he actually didn't die at all. So now he's not getting revenge for a family member. He's just getting revenge for himself.
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose of that?
I think it's maybe to make the teens a little less culpable. To make us
That's
feel,
what I was thinking.
to make us feel a little bit better about them as the protagonists. Because initially it's like, y'all are covering up a murder, like you guys are actually all trash. But then by the end it's like, well, he's actually a bad guy, you know? So then it kind of makes us feel a little less bad about their actions. When in reality, like they're all just trash. Well, not fully trash. I mean, there's nuances there. And Julie for sure, it was like not about this life. I kind of want to talk about each character one by one.
100%.
So we can kind of, all right. So let's start with Barry. Ryan Felipe's character.
Ryan Phillip.
Your boy Barry.
Not my boy. He is not my boy. I am not a Barry fan at all.
So Barry,
not feeling this dude.
Barry is an athlete. So we first start the film, we see that it's the summer after high school. They're all talking about their plans, what they're going to do. Barry has plans to play football in undergrad, and he is dating, Helen, who's the good-looking girl who's in pageants.
Girl, yeah. And that's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes. And Barry is a bit of a douche.
A bit.
Early on, the very first time we see him, they're watching Helen at this beauty pageant, and he's commenting, on what she does to make her breasts look bigger. And then he's just getting completely wasted, doesn't want anyone to drive his vehicle. They have to basically take the keys from him in order to drive. And then as they're driving, Ray, who's played by Freddie Prinze Jr., is driving down the road, and Barry is completely wasted. He stands up in the car, puts his head through the sunroof, and he has a bottle of liquor with him. He's drinking, the car is swerving because they're driving down this windy lane, and he drops this bottle of liquor on top of Ray, which of course makes him look up because you just spilled liquor on me. And that's when the car accident happens. As soon as it happens, Barry is instantly we gotta get rid of the body. He didn't even think about it.
No.
There was no calling the cops. All he's thinking about is his future. He's going to college. He's about to play football. And we learn later on that Barry comes from money. We see his house in a later scene. And you can tell he's one of these privileged boys. Apparently he likes playing these characters because he was another privileged character in Cruel Intentions.
I kind of got the sense that they all had means, with the exception of Ray, because there were a few...
Not Helen.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't get a lot of money from her.
No, maybe not a lot of money, but
I think
her family does own a store. It's not... I don't know. There was definitely mention of Ray not having money. So for me, that was he's different than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Not to say that they were all loaded. Maybe Barry was, but I feel like they were all they were all living comfortable lives economically. And Ray was I guess we'll get to him.
Yeah, but Barry is just completely drunk. And what I didn't like about him is throughout the film, we're trying to figure out who is sending these notes. And Barry automatically believes that it's Max, with no real proof. Max is the character.
Well, he has proof. Because Max is the only one that saw them that night.
We think. They think.
Well, right. Yeah.
They think.
He's the only one that they know saw them that night.
Right.
And honestly, it's possible that nobody else saw them because the killer is the guy that they killed.
True. But also, I don't think going into someone's place of business and then threatening them with a fish hook is really the way to do it. And the reason why and Barry's a hothead because after he threatens Max, right? Because he thinks it's him. But then later on, we find out that Max is dead. So now he's like, oh, it must be Ray. It's you don't know who it is. You're just going around accusing people. And that was my problem with him. And it wasn't even having a conversation. As soon as he sees Ray, he punch him in the face. I'm like, that's not... He was just a hothead.
Nah, he sucks for many reasons, some of which you've already named. The other thing I didn't really like about him from the beginning of the movie, you talked about this Max character who's from Roseanne and Big Bang Theory. Max has a crush on, like you said, Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's nice to him. They're friends, but she's already dating Ray. Mm-hmm. And so that's the other thing. These 4 teenagers are basic couples. Barry and Helen, Ray and Julie. So she's talking to him. He's trying to say oh, can we hang out one last time before we all disappear? And she's like, I don't know. And then Barry shows up and just shoves him. Mm-hmm. And it's bro, number one, this is not even your girlfriend. And number 2, it's he's not offending anybody. He's just having a conversation with his friend. You're ODing. Relax. So that was step number 1. That I'm this guy's a jerk. Then the whole thing with the liquor. When they hit the guy, he's adamant about dumping the body. Mm-hmm. Nah, yeah. The girls are yo, let's call the cops. The guys are I don't know if we should do that. And it becomes this whole moral tug of war. And you basically have Barry on one side and Julie on the other. He's the ultimate bad guy. She's the ultimate good guy. And Ray and Helen are kind of stuck in between.
Mm-hmm. Don't you get it? If there's some of him on the car, there's some of the car on him. They're gonna trace it back to you. You're looking at a hit and run.
Then we dump the body.
You've lost it.
But just pretend we were never here.
We could drag him to the water and dump him in.
The thing about that scene that really struck me was he's like, Barry basically tells Julie and Helen, like, well, you know, if you call the cops, like, it's going to be manslaughter, you know, at the very least, and we're all going down. It's like, I'm actually not going down at all.
No.
Like, like, I'm a passenger in the vehicle. I didn't do anything wrong. If I call the cops right now, I'm actually fine. So
Yeah.
that to me was like, okay, Barry, that's actually not accurate. And I feel like Julie, they mentioned that she wants to go to law school. I feel like maybe she should have known a little bit better.
But
But
she's a high school senior. She's not like she doesn't know the law yet.
yes, but also I wasn't driving. I know that much.
Yeah.
I know that much. But of course, that they're
I
young
mean,
and
again, Julie is the one that is not on board the entire time.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning to the end, she's like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm not on board with this.
she won't move the body. She won't touch the body. Everybody else had a hand in actually either dragging the body over to the water or pushing him off the dock. Julie
right.
never touched him.
That's right. So after all that happens and they throw the body over, there's this dramatic scene where he jumps back in after the body to get his girlfriend's pageant crown.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
For evidence.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's like the body's still alive, and he grabs and he opens his eyes, and then Barry jumps back, but he still swims away. So anyway, they get out, and then Barry's like, "All right, so we got rid of the body. Everybody has to promise to make a pact that we're never going to say anything about this
Until we died.
And then they're like, "All right, man, whatever." And Julie's like, "This is some BS." He assaults her,
Yeah.
grabs her by her throat, and says, "Say it!
Yeah.
I want you to say it!
Yeah.
Promise!" So I'm like, okay, so this guy
He's
is
a madman.
actual abuser.
Yeah.
So I was already like, at this point, I'm like, I'm already ready for him to die. Like, when do we get to the point where he gets murdered? Because there's no way.
It took a little while to get there.
There's no way this character makes it to the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me not remembering how the film ended.
Right.
But just like, he has to die. And sure enough.
But you know what?
Then it was the whole thing with Max. Like, it was just like there were never any moments in the movie where you felt any sympathy towards Barry.
Oh, no. You can't.
Yeah, he was trashed like the entire film.
Consistently trash. Through and through. Okay, you want to talk about Ray?
Yeah, let's talk about Ray.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
FPJ.
You always, I feel like for some reason FPJ comes up pretty frequently on this podcast.
As it should. It's a 90s podcast. What else do you want to come up? Like,
FPJ.
I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is.
So
Yeah, it comes up.
they mentioned that he doesn't really know who his father is, but he knows that his father was a fisherman because the summer after they come back from their first year of undergrad, Ray is still there. It looks as though he hasn't left this small fishing town and he is now a fisherman.
What was Ray's ambition? Like, he wanted to like study philosophy or something?
That's what it seemed like when he was having conversations with Julie. It seemed like that's what he wanted to do. So apparently he never did go to college. He just stayed there and got a job. And you know what? I hadn't watched this movie in a while and I kind of forgot some of the details. I knew there was a kind of a twist with the fisherman being someone's father. And for a moment I was like, wait, is the fisherman like his pops? Like, I was trying to figure out what was going on because
somebody's pops.
Because
you remember that much.
Because there was a moment where Anne Heche's character, who's played, she plays what's the name?
She plays the dead guy's
Sister. Yes, Missy.
But not the dead guy that they thought they killed.
Right. Egan.
The dead guy who the killer killed
David.
before he killed them the year after.
David Egan's sister. They're talking to her, and she mentions the fact that one of David's friends came by, to talk to her, and they asked what his name was, and she said his name was like Billy
Blue.
Billy Blue. And later on, we see that the boat that Ray is working on, the name of the boat is Billy Blue. And so when I saw that, I was like, wait, is that his pops? Like, I really was just trying to figure out, because when they mentioned the name Billy Blue to him, he was like, that was his name? And he kind of like had this look on his, I'm like, he knows something. And so that kind of threw me for a loop, but I was wrong. His father never came up in this film. But, he's the nicer of the two guys by far. And while he did want to dump the body, it was more like, yeah, I don't really want to go to jail. I didn't see it.
He freaked.
Yeah, it wasn't I don't care about the person, because he did make it a point to go see the sister and to find out about who this guy was.
Well, also, you got to remember, the whole thing was like, it's two guys and two girls. Barry is all on board about killing this man, or at least dumping the body of the guy that they think is already dead. Which I guess raises another point, because doesn't Ray check his pulse? So
He did. He didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, so he just did it wrong. Anyway, when they get to the pier and they're getting ready to dump the body, Ray backs out. He's like, yo, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, he's like, bro, like, we're here. We're already doing it. Like, all we have to do is like,
be ready to move the body.
Julie's like, it's
not too late. We can still call.
We can actually not do it. He's like, nah, it's too late. Come on, let's just do it. And it's not until the guy wakes up and reaches out, and then Ray like freaks out, and then that's when they throw him in.
It wasn't even Ray. It was Helen. Helen said, okay, I'll do it. And she went over to help him do it.
Right, but then he grabbed Helen.
All right, he grabbed her by the hair, by the crown. That's right.
He grabbed Helen, and then that's when Ray grabbed him off of her and threw the
at
body.
that point, he was trying to help out. So like that, yes. But then I also feel like
that's a hell of a way to help out. Throwing a body overboard that literally is trying to fight for its own life.
Yeah,
it's not like
I'm not saying I would do it.
It's not like the guy did anything to them. They hit him.
Yeah.
It wasn't self-defense.
It's not great.
It was not great.
He's the better of the two guys, but he's still not a good quote unquote character. But I think that that's also kind of why he ended up just staying where he was. Because if you see, like, later on, what I thought was interesting is that all of the characters kind of had a really tough life the year after that happened. Apart from Barry, because Barry went to college and was still playing football.
I was literally going to bring that up next, because that was the next thing I was going to say.
Like, Barry still went through his plans like nothing happened.
This has very much affected everyone except for him, which is like, have you done this before, bro? Because you seem very unbothered. But like, first we see Julie, who's supposed to be a straight A student. She's basically failing in college.
Yeah.
She's been put on academic probation. She's getting ready to lose her scholarship.
She looks terrible.
And she's been depressed. So she's not even like making friends. We see Helen, who had these grand plans of moving to New York to pursue an acting career. She doesn't get into details, but basically says New York didn't work out. And now she's working in her family boutique store. Mm-hmm. And Ray also had plans to go to college. He basically gives up on his plans and decides to just stay in his hometown and be a fisherman. So yeah, they're all not only have had like drastic changes to their plans, but they're all kind of sad and depressed.
Yeah.
Both couples have broken up. And Barry's just like, yeah, I'm still in college and I'm still playing football and I'm fine. So he doesn't seem to be bothered or affected by any of this at all.
I wonder if that's part of his upbringing. Like, the fact that he's like the richest one out of all of them, it's almost like, like you see those shows about, how the other half lives. And how, like, they do
shows,
things.
It's called America.
And it's like, the parents will cover up for their kids. And, like, it's just kind of like, it is what it is. Like, things happen, shake it off. This is still my life, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, he is the only of the four of them whose life is still going according to plan. Also, we mentioned this briefly, that Bridget Wilson plays Elsa, who is Helen's sister. Mm-hmm. And it feels like they kind of have this, like, tension between them.
It's not seems. They definitely have. They definitely have tension. Elsa basically thinks that Helen is superficial. She's constantly making comments about, like, you only care about your hair. Because Helen has made it a point to talk about making sure her do is always a certain way.
She says the only thing that matters.
Well, her hair was really nice. It's like down, like mid-back. and very healthy and
She said,
full.
"Oh, all you academic girls are always worried about something. All you have to do is make sure your hair looks good."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Okay, I'll keep that in mind when I'm in law school."
And so Elsa just thinks she's ridiculous, like she's like a waste. And there's a scene where we find out that Elsa takes over the father's store, and she says to Helen, tomorrow morning I need you to come in at 10 a.m. And she's like, I can't. I have to do the beauty pageant parade. And she's like, ugh. Well, I'm taking over the store, and I need you there at 10. And she's like, it's tradition. I actually have to go to this thing. I don't even really want to do it. And she's brushing her hair before she gets in her bed. And her sister's like, you and your hair. And when all this is happening, like...
Her sister calls her a washed up has-been. Like, she was... And I was like, yo...
Good God.
If one of them dies tonight, that's going to be an awful last conversation. Because that's what I was thinking. Because at this point, the killer had snuck into her house.
Yeah, she was hiding in her closet, which is terrifying.
Yeah, but nobody knew. So I'm like, one of them's dead.
Right. That's the initial thought, is that it's going to happen. And that's the thing about this killer. It's like, he takes his time, because the very first time that they interact with him is not typipally the time that he kills them, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because even with Barry and like when he went to the gym and he's like stalking him in the locker room, he ran him over with his car basically and left him there. He could have killed him and he just walked away. So it's like, after the second time I see you, I'm gonna kill you. But the first time is just like, just so you know I'm here.
So let's go through this. Barry, he stalks and runs over with Barry's car.
Yes.
Then he sneaks into Helen's house, basically like cuts off globs of her hair while she's sleeping, and puts the pageant crown back on her head, which was absolutely diabolical. I love that scene.
That's terrifying.
It was really good. Then with Julie, he kills Max. Max is actually the first person he kills. He kills Max the same night that he hits Barry with his car.
Yes.
So he takes Max's body and stuffs it in Julie's trunk, covered in crabs.
That was disgusting. Like, there's something about, like...
It wasn't pretty.
When she was driving and you heard, like the sound of the crab, like, pincers.
Oh, yeah.
It was really gross. And then when she opened it and they were just crawling over the body, I don't know what it was about that scene, but it made my skin crawl. It was so gross.
It made Max's skin crawl.
It was so gross. I did not care for that. Not to mention, before that even happens, talk about the note.
I know what you did last summer.
Yes. Julie's in the house and her mom says, something came for you. And when she opens it, that's what's on the note. But there's no postage stamp, which means this person dropped it off at your house. So I feel like, to me, that's what was really scary. Because it's like,
yeah, I
they
didn't think
just
about
mail
that.
it to me. Like, they came to my house and put it in my mailbox.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I noticed that there was no return address, obviously, but I didn't realize there was no postage. Yeah, that's tough. He didn't do anything to Ray, though, did he?
And that was the thing. And I think that was why I think Barry thought it was Ray, because he was like, Ray was like, I got a letter too. And he was like, oh, you got a letter?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, really, man?
So I think part of that was also for us, so that we're like, you're trying to keep the audience on edge. But I found that the scene in the hospital where he basically blames Ray, I thought that was a little clunky in terms of the writing. Because usually you'll see, like, a group is together, they're trying to figure something out, they're trying to put together a plan, and then, like, if and when the plan doesn't work, they kind of start to turn on each other. We saw this in the First Wives Club, right? Like,
yes.
They start to get snipey towards the end, and then they kind of have this reconciliation at the very end of the movie. So that's kind of the normal template. But for Barry to turn on Ray like 35 minutes into the movie, I was like, whoa, dude, like, you are very quick to jump to the assumption that it was this guy who ran you over in your car. For what reason would he even have done that?
Who is?
I don't know. Some guy in a slicker.
Well, that narrows it down. Just being a quaint little fishing village and all.
And since you bring it up, we all know you have a slicker.
Yeah,
there was really no reasoning. It was just like, oh, well, the guy was dressed up like a fisherman, and you are a fisherman. It must have been you. Like, what? Why would I do this? This doesn't make any sense. I also dumped this body. What? I'm just as culpable as you
are. It didn't
are.
make any sense. So along the lines of like, it's a fisherman and you are a fisherman. The scene where Helen is in the middle of this parade. She's on this float as the reigning, beauty queen. And she's sitting there, and basically they're like, it's July 4th, and this is when the killer typically does his deeds. And so they're like,
he's an annual killer.
They're like, oh, this is his night. It's like Halloween, but for this guy. And it's like, oh, this is his night. He's going to kill.
I only kill on 4th of July.
He's going to kill tonight. And so she's sitting on the float. Shut up. And she's looking out for him. And somehow Barry's able to sit on the float with her. I'm like, why is he even up there? But okay. And they're riding down the street.
He's a football player.
Yeah, small town, I guess. And she's like, Barry, look. And she points. And it's just like some man wearing a raincoat slicker. And I'm like, you guys live in a fishing town. Half the people in the town own this jacket.
God. Well, this is the whole thing.
It didn't make any sense.
This scene cracked me up so bad because of this very thing that you're explaining. But even when they're in the hospital after Barry gets hit by the car, and he's like, I don't know what he looked like. I couldn't see his face. All I saw was a slicker. And Ray's like, well, that's not very helpful. Like, we live in a seaside town. Yes. And all the people are fishermen. And he's like, yeah, well, guess what? You're a fisherman too. It could have been. It's like, wait.
He just said.
You are removing the logic that he literally just gave you. And then they do it again. Yes. They're like, all right, let's sit. And it's like, this whole scene cracked me up so bad because I'm like, all right, they're going to keep their eyes peeled to try to find the killer. But you guys don't know what he looks like.
Exactly.
So what are you even looking for?
Exactly.
Yo, if we see him, we'll be able to get him before he gets us. Yeah, which again, this plan makes zero sense because this man has been independently stalking 4 of you.
Yeah.
He's on his game. Like
not to mention the fact that y'all hit him with the car, punched his lights out, dumped him in the water, and he still didn't die.
Right. So now what are you planning to do?
He's basically Jason at this point.
Well, he's going to find us, so let's just find him first, and then maybe we can talk to the guy.
Well, that's what, yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Helen wants to talk to him. Barry wants to beat his guy.
He's already killed Max. Like, that's first of all.
Let's talk about Max, because I felt like when he got murdered, I was like, why is he killing Max? Like,
I don't really know.
There was no
Max
reason.
Was a warning shot.
I think Max was for us so that we knew Max wasn't the killer.
Yes, and I think it was like, we have 4 big stars in this movie. We're trying to preserve them for as long as we can. Yeah. We're not trying to pull a Drew Barrymore here. So what they basically did was like, yo, we got to use a side character to show that this guy is...
He means business.
...going to kill.
Yeah.
Like, so then it's like, you're showing that he's a killer without actually killing off any of your main characters.
Yeah.
It was either going to be Max or it was going to be Elsa, basically.
Who ends up eating it as well.
She does eat it.
That was a nice one. Like when he was dragging her by the hook, I enjoyed that.
So this whole scene.
Oh, she pissed me off.
Yo, because what happens is Drew. I gotta go back. There's so many funny things that happen throughout the course of this night.
There's a lot.
It's just so many things that are like, wait, what? Why is this happening? So they're going through this whole thing on the float. They're looking for a guy that they don't know what he looks like, but they will recognize him when they see him, apparently. And they're like, wait, I see a slicker. Oh, that's not him. All right, how do you know it's not him?
As Barry attacks people.
It could literally be anyone. And also, how do you know that because he attacked Barry with a slicker that he's just going to be wearing it all
every
the time?
He
exactly. Could just be dressed in normal clothes and watching this parade. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They do finally see him standing on top of a balcony with the same slicker on, tapping the fishing hook and staring at them.
Yep.
I don't know why he would have done that.
So they know that he's watching.
Okay. So then, now they're freaking out. She has to go be at this pageant as the reigning queen to kind of watch the pageant and crown the next winner. So the whole time, she's obviously preoccupied.
Barry promises to watch over her.
Barry promises to watch over her. Where does Barry go to watch over her?
In the balcony by himself.
Okay. What was happening
with dark corners and no one else is up there?
What was happening prior to them going to the pageant?
The parades?
And they were doing what during the parade? They were looking for a killer.
The killer.
Okay. All right. So you're looking for a killer who's been stalking you, who's already hit you over, run over you with a car. And your decision is to be in a dark, empty balcony by yourself in the middle of the nighttime.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what happens. He, of course, he gets hooked up. And then she's on stage seeing this. Apparently, she's the only one that sees it, despite the fact that aren't the other contestants also on stage?
Yeah, but they're looking at the judges, it's bright lights.
Yeah.
I could see possibly.
So she looks up and she's like, oh my God, he's up there. They got him.
Oh my God.
Not a single person reacts to anything that she's literally jumps off the stage and is screaming.
She's running, yeah. They all grab her like, calm down, calm down. What's this? What are you talking about?
Hey! What's the problem?
Help him! He's gonna kill him!
Who? Who's killing who?
Up in the balcony!
All right, everybody stay calm.
Get off of me!
And she's like, he's up there, he's killing him. What else do you need me to say?
Who's up there?
Yeah.
Killing who? I don't know anybody named Barry. It was so dumb.
Yeah, just calm down, young lady. Calm down.
Not a single person thought, hey, maybe there's something going on upstairs.
Why? They don't believe women.
Right, of course.
That's why.
She's a blonde pageant babe.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's being hysterical.
Exactly. So then the cop ends up going upstairs with her, and he's like, see? None's even up here. He didn't even take his flashlight out to even really look. It's dark. It's pitch black up there. He's like, see? There's no Barry up here. And she's like, he was up here, I'm telling you.
There's no Barry.
There was blood dripping on the wood. He didn't even see it.
There's no Barry up here. It's hilarious.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. That is what he said.
So actually, when he got murdered, I didn't feel bad for him. I was like, yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that, Mr. Copper.
So then the cop's trying to take her home. The cop dies. Yeah. She's stuck in the back of a police car. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
She escapes the police car, and now she's running to the store because she knows her sister's there.
Oh, this pissed me off.
What pissed you off? Let's talk about
This pissed me off. It's the middle of the night. Her department store that belongs to her family is getting ready to shut down. Her sister is there, the only employee left. She is running like a mad person towards the door. She reaches the door, and of course it's locked because Elsa is there by herself. So she starts banging on the door, and she's like, open up, Elsa, come on, he's coming. I mean, she's screaming, she's crying, she's clearly panicked and fearful.
She's lost her shoes.
Her sister walks over all slow, and she's like, what's this about? Just real, nonchalant. And it's like, your sister is crying and screaming, and she's begging, please, please, please. And then she's like, forgot the key. And then she turns back around. But she's walking so slowly. And I'm like, you don't see the panic?
It was ridiculous.
You can't see what's going on.
It's there was the lack of urgency was alarming.
It was infuriating.
It was appalling.
And then she lets her in, locks the door, and then she's like, the Broad Street, whatever entrance is open, make sure you lock the door. I'll go lock it. And she's like, okay. Locks the door, what's her problem? And I'm like, you don't see?
No.
You're not concerned? And I don't care what kind of relationship you have with your sister. If I see someone panicked like that, I'm going to open the door. And I'm going to hustle when I do it.
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense. Because it's it didn't make any
you think
sense.
she's joking? It's not
It's like, man, you're really bothering me. I had a long day, and here you are banging on the door. This is such an annoyance. That's how she was responding. It was just like, oh, this is so annoying. Not like, hey, my sister's in danger.
Yeah. And I was thinking, maybe it would have made sense if, Helen was known for routinely pranking her, or it was Halloween. You know what I mean? Something like that. But it's this is July 4th. So, no, this has nothing to do with anything. So, of course, by the time they go around to the back entrance, they lock the door and ends up locking the killer in to the department store. And Elsa eats it with the hook. And then, honestly, I will say, this chase scene, the amount of times that Helen got away from the killer, I thought was fun. She was going from place to place.
Yeah,
it was a really good chase scene.
Because it went from the pageant to the cop car to the department store. And then she gets out the department store. She has to jump out of a window.
Yeah.
She ends up in a abandoned alleyway, and she fights. She puts up more of a fight than
she really
Barry did.
But her mistake. Why did she stop? She's running. She sees the fireworks. She knows the parade's happening. She's about to run out into the parade. She's a few yards away, and then she stops to turn around. I was like, keep running. Why would you stop?
Yeah, run into the
Run
parade.
into the parade. She stops, and then, of course, by the time she turns back around, he's magically in front of her, which doesn't even make any sense.
No.
Because how did he get there? But whatever.
Well, how's he even alive?
Well, yes. We kind of skipped over this, but I want to go back briefly to before Barry dies. When your man is chasing him with the car, why was Barry running in the middle of the street? Like in movies, particularly in this time, I feel like people just always ran straight in the middle of the road when a car is chasing them. Run to the side. There were so many places he could have ducked into, and he chose to just run straight.
Nah, yeah, I don't know. On some level, it did feel like Barry and Helen kind of had to die. It was like their karma because they were kind of like the ones that were most on board with killing this man.
Yes.
Which, you know, retrospectively, they actually didn't kill anyone because the guy did live, but they didn't know that. They were definitely intent on killing him. They just happened not to. But yeah, it did feel like if anybody had to die, it was gonna have to be them too.
You know what else?
And
the 90s horror movie, they had a lot of sex. So, you know,
they did have a lot of sex.
In horror movies, you have sex, you die.
Well, that actually reminds me of something. Because at the beginning of the movie, when they're still coupled up before they kill a man and all break up, Barry and Helen are together. They're like the hot hookup couple, right? Like the football player and the pageant queen. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're having tons of sex. Ray's like the sentimental, philosopher, and Julie is the shy and quiet nerd. So they are presumably not having tons of sex. However, they do have sex.
They do.
On the night before the alleged murder. And this scene cracked me up because he was basically, they're like having this quiet time together, and he's talking about how he sees them being together and how, you know, the love that they have is so real, da 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 da. And she says, cite your source. And he grabs his hand and places it above his heart. And then she just immediately starts taking her clothes off. She's like, well, that's all I needed to lose my virginity.
Yeah, he loves her.
I needed you to cite your source and place a hand over your heart like you're about to give the Pledge of Allegiance. And then she's like, well, and just starts taking her clothes off. It's like, whoa, that was very easy for him. He's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, he never cited his source at any other point in their relationship.
No, that was the first time.
And he still didn't say, I love you. He just put his hand on his heart. I thought that was ridiculous.
Well, yes, it was, but
it's like, come on, girl. You can make him do a little bit more.
She just wanted to do it, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, come on.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it. So they did do it.
Yeah, but I think, if you think about them compared to what Barry and Helen were doing,
yeah,
they were the more virginal of the two couples.
They were. That's true.
So the other couple had to go.
I talked a little bit earlier, well, at the beginning of this episode, actually, about this kind of roundabout, circuitous plot line. Mm-hmm. And a part of this is Anne Heche, who plays the guy's sister,
Missy,
who they think they killed, but then whatever. I thought what was interesting / ridiculous is for the majority of this movie, our understanding is that these 4 teenagers killed a man.
Yes.
But a lot of the movie carries out like some sort of detective thriller where they're like doing this research and they're looking up web articles and they're going to speak to family members and they're trying to gather evidence. And it's like, this is like a detective thriller, except the exact opposite because they are the killers. It's
That's funny.
This movie is the killers trying to find the vigilante instead of the other way around.
You're right.
Yes.
It's like an upside down cake.
It is 100% upside down. It's like, all right, these are the people that murdered someone, and now they're doing the research to figure out who knew about it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, they get absolved very, very,
But along those lines, if you're the killer and you're trying to figure out what's going on, the fact that Julie went to Missy and just told her everything, I was like, girl, what are you doing? She was like, we hit him with the car. We killed him. And she's like, no, you didn't. Like,
What if she was like, you did? Then what? Then you're going to prison.
She was like, no, he committed suicide. He left a note. And it was like, it said something about like last summer. It wasn't the same exact wording, but it said something about knowing about the summer before. And Julie was like, no, that's not a suicide note. That's a threat. And she was like, leave my house. I don't know what you're talking about. My brother killed himself. Like, you did not kill him. Like, just leave.
Well, even when they first go there, Helen and Julie get in the car and go to the Egan house because they're trying to like do some sort of recon. And they're talking in the car as they're pulling in. And she's like, yo, what's the plan? Like, what are we going to say? He's like, oh, I don't know. Well, we'll just figure it out. It's like, so what? Like, so you're under the understanding that you've killed this woman's brother, and your plan is to just go and talk to her, and you have no actual like story.
It made no sense.
It's like, oh, our car broke down. Can we use your phone? And then they spend the next 20 minutes just asking her questions about everything in her house. Oh, who's this person in this picture? Oh, hey, where'd your brother go to high school? It's like, come on, man. I thought you just need to use the phone.
Yeah, it was weird.
This woman's not an idiot. She can tell that you're not here to use the phone. You didn't actually even call anyone.
Even when Helen goes to use the phone, quote unquote, she gets scared when she sees another raincoat. She's like, oh, and it's like, again, everyone in the town has one.
This premise stunk so bad. It's like, come on, man. This is... And everyone who you see with a slicker on is now a suspect in a seaport town. It makes no sense at all.
Oh, man. That was funny. And then another thing about that didn't make a lot of sense in this film was, why is it that anytime anybody was taking a shower, there was nobody else in the locker room? I've never been to a gym where there was nobody.
It was the most empty gym.
Yes.
Even after he gets out, it's just like the attendant is the only other person there.
And then at the end with Julie when she's in
the dorm room, I guess, yeah.
She's by herself, and number two, like, why were the showers so steamy? It wasn't a sauna.
It was very steamy. You couldn't see anything.
I was like, this is a shower.
And number three, that was a really nice college dorm shower.
Yes.
So wow, where did she go to school?
It was like a spa.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, damn, these showers are nice. They did not look like that at the University of Miami. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, so that to me, I was like, okay, we get the shower scenes got to be.
It's
spooky,
incredibly smoky. She had the how hot was the water?
Scalding.
And there's only one shower running.
Yeah.
So it filled up the entire dorm. It filled up the entire bathroom with smoke.
Yeah. The person could walk with their slicker.
He walked in there with his slicker. I still know.
And walked back out.
He was like, all right. Well, that actually brings me to another point I was going to make is there were multiple points throughout this film. We talked about Barry with the car. We talked about him sneaking into Helen's house. Like, there were multiple points where he could have killed them, and he decided to toy with them instead. What do you think that was for? Like,
it's to instill fear. It's just to let them know, like, I'm here and I'm watching you. Because he could have just, like, slit all their throats while they were sleeping, but, like, that's not fun. He wanted to play with them. This guy's not a good person. Like, let's make it very clear. Like,
no.
Yes, he lost his daughter, and that's very sad. But even that, it was an accident. There was nothing in the film that made us believe that it was Egan's fault that the girl died.
No, we even see him at the beginning of the movie drinking on the side of a cliff with the "I love you" pendant, and he looks very remorseful, and he's like, yeah, he's sad as hell.
Yeah, he also might have jumped. Like, I would have believed it was suicide if I was a sister because of how he was. Which is kind of what made it, I guess, good for the fisherman. It was like, oh, they're going to think that he killed himself. Perfect. But it was like, he made it seem like he had to kill David, and then he had to kill, and it was like, well, I'll get to the themes later.
Yeah, maybe he did have to kill these idiots.
Well, yes.
They did leave him for dead. I mean, he's well within his rights.
But again, just kill them.
To gut them like pigs.
But then he had to, like, make sure that they knew, like, I know.
Yeah, I think
it was the chase.
Yeah, I think now that I'm the way that you're explaining it makes sense. Like, because then if he just kills them, then it's like, oh, they just died. But it's like, they need to know why they're dying.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yes.
if you just like kill someone in their sleep, then it's just like, wait, what happened? Then it's like, wait, what? Then you're just dead. Or, you know, I run over you in the car and then I just gut you. Then it's like, why did this person die? We don't know. It's like, nah, you're going to know why. You're going to know why before I kill you. And then I'm going to kill you.
Unless you're Max or Elsa, then you don't know why.
Yeah, they just died because they were in the way.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they just died because they were in the way. And I don't really know why he killed Max, because he could have. Yeah, that didn't really actually
it was
make
really
any
just
sense.
for us. It was really just for us. It really didn't make sense for the killer to kill him.
So we have to talk about the end of this movie, because I have so many questions about how this movie ends.
The final boat scene?
Yes. This boat scene. So long story short, Ray and Julie are the only two left. And they end up on the boat of Susan's father, Mr. Willis. He previously knocks Ray out because for a moment, Julie thinks it's Ray. She's running away from him. And the fisherman comes out of nowhere and knocks Ray down so that Julie can get away. And he says, quick, run onto the boat.
Which there's no way.
And she's like, okay.
I'm just going to run home.
Yeah, like, why would I be running into a closed space
No.
when I'm trying to run away from a man?
No.
So that doesn't make any sense. So she's like, all right. And then she runs onto the boat. And then when she runs onto the boat, she realizes, oh, this guy's been stalking us because he has photos and newspaper clippings of all four of us all over his walls.
So creepy.
Oops, maybe I went to the wrong place. So he's knocked Ray down on the pier, and he basically anchors off the boat to take her out into the ocean and kill her. What I was confused by is, why didn't he kill Ray? Because he's already killed the other two.
That's true.
Ray is basically down. He can't defend himself. He could have just slit his throat or gutted him before going to handle Julie.
And that's the thing, like you said before, even earlier, Ray didn't have anything happen to him. All we know is that Ray allegedly got a note, but we didn't see anything happen to Ray throughout the film.
No.
Which is why I thought it was his pops, because I was like, this person has to have something in relation to Ray, because why is Ray getting the easy end of this? So I don't know how to answer that. I don't know why he did
that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why he didn't do it.
So then they're now taking away, they're now floating away from the pier, and she's now stuck on the boat with this crazy man. And Ray somehow like turns into Batman.
He gets another boat, and then he gets close enough that he climbs onto the boat. And he was doing a lot.
It was bizarre.
He was doing a lot.
He like went into a speedboat. He jumps off the speedboat. He climbs up like he somehow climbs onto this boat. It was ridiculous. It was very like, it was like Batman.
He climbs on twice because after he gets on the boat, remember, he's fighting with the fisherman, and Julie's dumbass is like, Ray, watch out. And of course, it's like, if someone is fighting, you don't need to call their names. What? Huh? And then he gets knocked out off of the boat. And now she's like, ah! She starts screaming. And he gets on the boat a second time. So I'm like, yo, Ray is...
Nah, when he climbed onto the boat the second time, it was like Peter Pan and Captain Hook or something. I'm like, bro, like, what's happening here? Like, how is he doing this? Like, who is this guy? He's not the athlete.
He's not. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. But it's like, oh, he's a fisherman. He knows boats. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how he was able to do that, but it was some sort of Spider-Man, Batman routine that he climbs back onto the boat, swinging by the ropes and climbing down and jumping ahoy matey. So then, of course, this guy only kills. He only kills with the hook.
The hook, yes.
There's no other way. He couldn't just like grab her and squeeze the life out of her.
No.
He had to get his hook. So he has her now cornered. There's nowhere for her to go. And he raises the hook. And what happens?
The hook gets stuck in the rope.
The hook gets stuck in some rope.
And then your boy Ray's like, perfect. And then he pulls down something.
The pulley,
The pulley, so that now the guy is being hung by one hand. And then eventually, like, it snaps. And his hand that's holding the hook becomes detached from his arm. And then he goes flying off.
The hand gets caught in the pulley at the top. And it basically, like, snaps off his body. And then the rest of his body goes flying into the water.
Yeah.
And then the hand and the hook are the only thing that's left.
Yes.
And then they're like, yo, where's... So then the cops come at the end. They're searching. Like, oh, we didn't find the body. All we found was his hand.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, is he still alive?
Right. They're like, the body's going to turn up somehow. They always do. And then they're hugging. They're huddled together hugging. And it's like, any idea why this guy would want to kill you? And they're like, no, none at all, of course.
Well, what are you going to say?
Because you have to.
So
now they're together, and when we fast forward, it's like, we see that she's in college, she's talking, she's saying "I love you." So now he's saying it. He's saying it on the phone.
Yeah.
He's saying "I love you," and then she talks about him being able
Cite
to.
your source.
He talks about him being able to ravage her later. So
there was speak of ravaging. there was a lot of talk of ravaging. Well, here's the other thing that I didn't understand, or this might have been my biggest gripe of the whole film.
Oh wow.
At the end, he's talking to Julie, and she basically explains, like, why she didn't want anything to do with him, why she was depressed. And he says, I understand your pain. Which is like, bro, you were there too. You experienced the exact same thing that she did. But then he explains that, like, yeah, I went to the Egan house because I had to get answers because I couldn't let it go. I really wanted you back. So you're telling me the only reason you went looking for answers to try to figure out what happened was to get back your high school girlfriend? It wasn't because you felt guilty. It wasn't because you couldn't live with yourself. It wasn't because no. The only depression that he was feeling was because him and Julie broke up.
Yeah. Because throughout the film, you're
It's
right.
like, wait, what?
You're right. Because every time they interact, you see that he's trying to talk to her, and she's like, I can't be with you right now. And she's like running away from him. So it's like he literally just wants to get her back.
It's like,
the
y'all
entire
killed
film.
somebody a year ago.
And that's the thing. I feel like every time I looked at you, I would think about that night.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
And that's why she's like, I can't do this. And I guess she has a change of heart at the end because he saves her life, which is like, a pretty good reason.
Huge.
Get a lot of points for saving someone's life. Get a lot of brownie points for that. But I'm like, again, you turned into Spider-Man, came back onto this boat. You did all of this because you wanted to get back with your high school girlfriend.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out really well for her.
It did work out for her, but I just felt like that was not. If I'm Julie, I don't think that's the answer I'm looking for either. Because it's like, wait, so you don't feel anything about what happened that night? You just wanted me back?
That's unfortunate.
That's crazy. All right. So you mentioned this earlier, so I guess now would be a good time for you to actually say what you think the theme of this movie was.
Can I mention two things first before I talk about the theme? Just quickly, I wanted to bring up, if you mentioned the beach that they went down to was called Dawson's Beach.
I did.
And I thought about Dawson's Creek, very 90s. And the second thing I thought about was the beauty pageant. Helen was crowned the croaker queen, and then she croaked. So I thought that was funny. Okay, so as far as the theme, so I had two. The first one was to learn to let go of your hurt. And this is for the fisherman. Because
He's the son of a fisherman, yes he was.
If the fisherman had not been out there to kill the boy who accidentally led to his daughter's death, he would not have been run over by these teens. And then basically throughout the entire movie, kill all these random people, including killing all these innocent people, and then ends up losing his hand by the end of the film.
Right.
And maybe his life, we know that he's not dead, but possibly his life, just because he could not let go
that hurt
of the hurt, because it wasn't even like it was revenge. It wasn't even like this man murdered your daughter intentionally. Like, it was an accident, and that's what I couldn't get over. It's like, you really shouldn't even...
It was her fiance.
Yeah.
Like, it was a car crash.
Like, he was doing too much, and it's like, you kind of got what you deserved, sir.
Yeah.
So that was the first one. And then the second one that I think is the lesson for the teens is to own up to your mistakes. None of this would have happened if they would have just been like, oh, this is what happened. This man was hit. Because honestly, it wouldn't even have been manslaughter. He wasn't dead.
Yep.
So,
and they actually would have been able to just save him if he had gone to the hospital. But
none
they're
of
like,
this
no.
would have happened.
And also, you're talking to the one who's blackout drunk. You're listening to the one who's blackout drunk.
Yes.
Like, he's wasted, and you guys are taking advice from him.
Yeah.
They should have just ignored him. I mean, yeah, the theme that I had was pretty similar, which is basically like the evil deeds that you do will always follow you.
Mm-hmm.
I think about like Jay-Z's first album. He has this song called Regrets. And so for those of you who don't know this somehow, Jay-Z was like a huge drug dealer before he became a rapper.
Somehow.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a part of his like American dream story. Like everybody knows this, but you know, I don't know. Maybe there's people who don't know that. So a lot of his first album is kind of talking about the life that he led as like this drug kingpin. But he has this song on the album towards the end that's basically like, it's basically just talking about like, no matter everything that you do, even if it makes you money or it gives you prestige or it allows you to buy things, like you're still going to have to live with all the things that you did. And you're still going to have that regret. That's not going to go away. And so I feel like for them, I guess except for Barry, who didn't really seem to have any, and maybe not Ray either, but
that's true.
I feel like if you do something, even if it's self-defense, you kill somebody, you're still going to like, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life, or at least until you're able to atone in some way. And so I feel like that was like the main theme to me was like, you guys did this awful thing. And now whatever you want to call it, karma or God or whatever is like,
the universe
is just, yeah, the universe is not letting you just walk away from this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Some facts.
Yes.
So this film was written by Kevin Williamson, and he noted in an interview that the antagonist is inspired by his family because everyone in his family is a fisherman besides him.
Wow.
So that's why there were so many slickers in the film.
They're all suspects. His entire family.
Melissa Joan Hart was offered a part in this film.
It's another three-namer.
But she turned it down after she lost out on the role to play Sidney Prescott in Scream.
Ooh.
She thought that this would just be a rip-off Scream, and then eventually said that she thinks she cheated herself out of a movie career by doing that.
Dang.
Because think about where her career may have gone had she have done this movie.
So, interesting. Do you feel like this was a rip-off Scream?
It's different because this movie didn't do what Scream did. Like, it wasn't as meta. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like they did touch a little bit on urban legends, and it kind of reminded me of the urban legend movie for a little bit. There's one scene on the beach where they're talking about the legend of the guy with the hook.
Yeah.
And they all have 4 different versions of what actually happened in the story. And so that kind of gave me a little bit of urban legend vibes, but it wasn't really giving Scream. Like, I wouldn't watch this and think this is a worse Scream.
No, I don't think so either.
It's not the same thing. So Reese Witherspoon turned down the part of Julie, but the director asked her advice on who would be like a hot young actor in town to cast. And she gave him the name of Ryan Felipe because at the time that was her boyfriend. And that's how he got this role.
Trust me, he's a very good actor.
He is. Let's see what else here. Oh, so did you know that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are married?
I did.
They met on the set of this film and ends up getting married in 2002, and they are still together, which is a long time for Hollywood marriages. So shout out to them.
FPJ and SMG.
So we didn't talk about this, and I'm kind of surprised, but the quote that everyone knows from this film, the "What are you waiting for?" is the scene where after they find Max in the trunk of the car with the crabs, Julie stands out in the middle of the street and she basically just screams out into the abyss. And she asks the killer, "What are you waiting for?" And that's like a scene that everyone remembers from this film. That scene was created by a kid who won a contest to make a movie moment. At the time, Hewitt said she thought it was ridiculous, but turns out this is one of the scenes that people always remember and people yell that at her.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous in the,
Yes.
And when you watch the whole movie, you're like, wait, why is she doing this? For some reason, my memory of this was that it was like at nighttime in the middle of the rain.
I did too.
But it was daytime and there was no rain.
I
So
thought it was
like,
rain too.
Huh. Did I completely make that up, or is that something that I remember from maybe I still
movie?
know?
Maybe. Because I definitely was like, where's the rain? I thought the same thing.
I was confused.
Yeah.
It must have been from the second film.
The director wanted to channel the vibe of Jaws' Amity Island, particularly the juxtaposition between summer fun and horrific deaths in this film. So that's kind of why they had it like on this seaside fisherman type
during the
location.
holidays.
Yeah, July 4th weekend and all that. Did you know that this movie is loosely based on a 1973 novel of the same name?
No.
The name of the author is Lois Duncan, and she was actually appalled at the decision to turn her book into a slasher movie because her own daughter was murdered in 1989 as a result of a unsolved shooting at the time. They have since figured out who the killer was. So in the book, a group of teens accidentally kill a boy who's riding on a bike, and then they are haunted by letters. But it's more of a suspense story minus the gore. So there was no hook in that book. And she says, quote, or she said, she's since passed, she said, "I don't find violent death something to squeal and giggle about." So she wasn't too thrilled about that. And then
So how'd they get the rights if she was never on board?
I was trying to figure that out. I was actually Googling that, and I couldn't figure out what was going on because I was like, can you just...
Or the publisher did it behind her back or something.
I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of strange to me as well. So lastly, just talking about reboots and sequels. So I Still Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1998. There was actually a third one called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. It came out...
I still have not forgotten what you did 5 summers ago.
It came out in 2006. It went straight to DVD, and it has a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh. The elusive 0%.
So that might be something you want to throw on if you want to giggle with your friends.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Have a night when you're not sober.
It's not to laugh and giggle about.
Oh, well, yeah.
She told you that.
There's also a show on Amazon Prime.
Oh, God.
2021, they had 1 season. And the reboot is set to hit theaters this July. Freddie Prinze Jr. will be there, as well as Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, well, if you got FPJ...
You're going to be there opening night,
I might have to just dabble. I might have to just see. I might have to just see what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I might just got to check it out, just to see. Just to see.
All right. It now is time for our rewind ratings. We give the movie a score between 1 and 5 to discuss how likely it is we would watch this film again. You can go first this time, Joel.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really remember much of this movie, so I was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be good, if this is going to be like a cheap Scream, but I feel like the movie stood up pretty well. It didn't really have too much in it, if anything that didn't age well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a nice teen slasher movie, which, again, I don't even think these exist anymore, for real. Like slasher movies for teenagers. But yeah, I was entertained by it. I mentioned the scene with Helen running away. I thought that was really fun. The scene with her having the killer in her house and all the different things. I could have done without some of the additional twists and turns, but I generally enjoyed myself watching this. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. 3.5.
Oh, more than I thought you were gonna give it. Okay.
Nah, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
I liked it.
All right. I feel like my reasons are somewhat similar. I did not have anything that didn't age well, and I always look for that when I'm watching these films. Nothing threw me off there. I didn't even notice the boobs that you did. Like I don't know why.
It wasn't like crazy, but it was a lot of like low necklines. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Yes. That's fair. I'm gonna give it a middle of the road 3.2 because I think it's
middle of the road is a 3.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 3, but then I was like, it's a little bit better than a 3. It's better than a 3, but it's also like, am I gonna watch this next year? Probably not. It'll probably be a little while before I watch it again. So I'll give it a 3.2. Pretty good.
I know what you watched last summer.
Pretty good.
All right. Well, feel free to drop a message, give us your rewind rating, and give us any other suggestions that you have for other movies that we should follow. We also got our Patreon alive and running, and we've got a couple of episodes on there now.
Yeah, our March
2 or 3,
episode is out now. Yeah.
So if you're interested in seeing or hearing some episodes for movies outside of the 90s, feel free to sign up for our Patreon page.
Do it.
Any last words?
Yeah, is it Felipe or Philippe? Let us know what you think.
I'm telling you. It's Philippe because that's what I've been saying for the past 20 years. So, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
All right, let us know.
Adios.
Later.